Just chaos everywhere. It was insane.
New video of a runaway semi as it leaves a trail of destruction.
It all just happened so fast.
Along Main Street in Tooele.
Went to those cars that are flipped over and looked smashed to make sure they were clear or alive or needed to be pulled out.
Crashing into dozens of cars.
So scary, that semi coming at you that fast. Like I said, I closed my eyes and said my prayers.
Before slamming into a car dealership and bursting into flames.
Other cars started exploding. It was pandemonium.
A shocking scene, now clear as the investigation begins.
It's going to be several days before we can get this all sorted out.
New at 10 dash cam video captures the moment that semi hit several cars as it was speeding out of control down the main street in Tooele.
Maybe a miracle here that nobody was killed, but this video shows just how it could have ended very differently. Take a look here. You can see just seconds before the semi comes flying through the intersection, a person runs across the street there. The big rig with a full load of gravel then slams into several cars, stopped at the light. A similar scene playing out at two other intersections immediately south of the one you're looking at. Here's a breakdown. 3 vehicles were hit at Vine and Main, 2 more at 400 North, and finally 27 vehicles hit at 1000 North and Main Street as a semi left the road, went through a car dealership and then slammed into the Ford building. That is a total of 33 vehicles damaged, including this semi.
We have team coverage from Tooele tonight. Andrew Adams is talking with those who saw the semi ignite into a ball of flames.
We're going to start things off, though, with Lauren Steinbrecher and some drivers who feel extremely lucky to even be alive tonight. Lauren?
Mike, lucky and thankful. Can you imagine just watching that semi barreling toward you? There's nothing that you can do. Tonight, hours later, you can see crews are still on scene here. They are boarding up that building, that dealership that caught fire, just part of the path of destruction left behind by that semi's rampage.
The crunch of cleanup taking hours to undo.
It was insane.
What complete chaos created in a split second.
I see a semi coming straight at me.
Tony Garner braced for impact, not knowing if he'd survive.
I closed my eyes and said my prayers. I didn't think I was going to see my kids, my family, so yeah.
A semi hauling 2 trailers full of gravel slammed into him at 1000 North Main. Dash cam from social media showing what he could feel. The out-of-control truck had already crashed into cars at 2 other intersections before sailing through this one after police believed the brakes gave out a mile south of here.
I look up and I see the semi coming literally up.
Janet Robison was a few cars behind Tony.
It had gone airborne. Is what I saw. I just saw this big thing coming.
She also had no choice but to brace.
The gal in front of me had been hit a couple of times, and I see her spinning towards my car.
The semi then hit a car dealership, the truck and building bursting into flames.
Big plumes of black smoke, and a second explosion hit.
Tony realized he was okay and began to help others who were trapped.
There was a police officer there, like an angel appeared. So I'm like, thank you, thank God.
People pulling together in those frantic moments. Quick action in the aftermath.
It was just so chaotic and so scary.
I talked to Tooele police tonight to get an update. They say that one person is still in critical condition after being airlifted to Salt Lake. 11 people total hospitalized from these crashes. Now, the semi driver is actually not one of those people. It sounds like he was okay and got out of that without any injuries. Mike and Deanie.
That's amazing, but it's hard to imagine what you'd think in those moments as you see that big semi headed right toward you. Lauren, thanks. As you heard in her story, a couple of police officers were right in the middle of all this mess. They quickly radioed for all available first responders, leaving even some seasoned law enforcement officers in disbelief of what they were seeing.
I've never seen anything like this. The patrol lieutenant and I actually witnessed this happen, so very scary accident. It's going to be several days before we can get this all sorted out because of the amount of people that were involved, the amount of vehicles that were involved.
We now know 11 people were hurt. 1 had to be flown to the hospital in critical condition. And as Lauren said, amazingly, the semi driver was not seriously injured. Viewers sent us video of the truck after it started on fire. They tell us they heard multiple explosions after the semi hit the buildings. Flames left several cars charred from the heat.
We got exclusive video from Shopper 5 here showing the trail of destruction. You can see it right here as it's making its way up there, leading into the Tooele Motor Company show lot there. News Specialist Andrew Adams continues her team coverage tonight. Andrew, you spoke to workers tonight describing really what was a chaotic scene.
Really was, Mike, and you could imagine on a weekend day, a nice day, temperatures in the 60s, that people would be actually out here looking at cars. But workers say, unbelievably, nobody was hurt in a chain of events that ended right there and left everyone stunned.
It all kind of turned to a blur.
In the middle of a Friday afternoon,
It all just happened so fast, you know.
calamity arrived at the car lot.
Quick as lightning, the truck came.
Hit a group of cars right here. That car over there kind of went up on the side of another one.
Workers watched in disbelief
It careened off to the left, went through, started hitting through cars.
as an out-of-control semi barreled into the parking lot and rolled toward the dealership.
As it was still traveling, it had caught fire.
And there were few words
Crazy.
when those inside the building saw it coming for them.
And I just heard everyone start screaming. I saw the truck hit the door, and everyone just started running.
The scene was chaotic.
All you could see is the truck on fire, and the whole building is on fire. Other cars started exploding. It was pandemonium.
Somewhere out of the ashes came action.
We ran down to the service bays that are located in the back, kind of clearing out everyone, asking, hey, is everyone okay? Get out of the building, get out of the building.
I was able to come up here and kind of start triage and evaluate patients.
The workers here are just grateful nobody was hurt on the property.
It was definitely a team effort for everybody.
And as they come to terms,
How something so horrific could have happened.
they're relieved it didn't end worse.
Just really crazy for this to happen.
It was definitely scary. Nothing I've ever been through before.
Well, the damage was considerable. Police say between the road and the lot combined, at least 27 cars saw damage, and they believe that toll could potentially go up, a very high toll in that regard. Thankfully, nobody hurt in this lot. Back to you.
Yeah, the damage is incredible. But again, we go back to the lives there. Just so grateful nobody died from this. Andrew, thank you. The mayor of Tooele releasing a statement tonight thanking everyone who jumped in to help out, from first responders to community members. She also said her heartfelt sympathies are with the victims and their families who have suffered as a result of this unfortunate incident. Our thoughts and prayers are with them, and I pray for their full recovery. KSL team was the first on scene in Tooele this afternoon, and we're also the first ones to alert you about the crash through our app. Be sure to download the free KSL Plus app to get updates on this breaking news as we continue following the investigation.